I came across this Reddit post from Traditional Tech 23. And Traditional Tech 23 wants to know if you can auto block an IP once you see that that IP is attacking you. It's sending some kind of known attack to your network, and that's detected using Palo Alto Network's firewalls threat prevention. And he wants to know, okay, once I see that that IP is attacking me, can I block everything coming from it and everything going to it? I actually didn't know if you could do this or not with a Palo Alto firewall, but I looked into how to do this and it is possible. So I'm going to set this up on my own firewall and I'm going to do this cold turkey. So let's get started. As I mentioned, what we are going to do is create a way to auto block IPs that you see are attacking you. So what we are going to need to do is to figure out how to tag those IPs automatically with a bad tag, and then make it so that anything with that tag is getting blocked, both things coming from that IP and anything going to that IP. So I will open up my PA440 and we are going to do this. I'm here in the dashboard. The first thing that I'm going to do is create a tag. So I'll go to objects. I'm already in tags. So let me create a tag here. We'll just call this bad. Very bad. Make it red, obviously, because red is bad. These are IPs that are attacking me. All right, so we'll start with that tag. The next thing that I'll do here, there's a couple different ways you could do this next, but next thing I'll do is I'll create a address group. So there's a thing called a dynamic address group, and basically rather than adding addresses individually, what you can do is you can just have them added dynamically based on tags. So I will go to the address groups. You already have a few here, and create a new one. I'll also call this bad, very bad. And we'll make it dynamic, as I mentioned. Again, group of all IPs attacking me. And it will just be a match of anything that hits bad. Okay. So now what I need to do is I need to create a log forwarding profile. This is the special feature that I actually had to learn for this video. I didn't even know that this actually existed. And I'll explain what feature I'm talking about in a second, but I'll go to log forwarding. Obviously I did know that log forwarding existed. What I didn't know that existed, now that I'm in log forwarding, I'll add new log forwarding profile. What I didn't know that existed was this thing called built-in actions, and I'll explain this. So normally log forwarding, you use that to forward your logs, right? You have a syslog server. A lot of people use something like Splunk or Elastic to collect their logs and analyze them. And that's a normal use of log forwarding. This is a slightly different use. This one will actually be to tag attacking IPs as bad. And that's what we will be doing here. We'll add this. What we'll need to do is, we'll also call this tag attacking IPs as bad. What we will need to do is use this built-in actions. But first, I want to make sure that we're only getting those IPs that are attacking us. And so I'm going to forward the threat logs only. And I'm going to add a filter because there's some threat logs. I don't know if I'll show you the threat logs in a second, but if you don't have experience with threat logs, there are some threat logs which are just informational. And so those can give you some additional information about a threat, but they don't actually show that you're being attacked. So we're gonna wanna focus on these like critical and highs here. So I think if I just, and then I can hit and let me just paste this. All right, and then we'll type in high here. So what this will do is this will filter those threat logs only. Oh, and I want this to be or. It can't be both. That was a mistake. It can't be both critical and high. It has to be critical or high. So the severity is either going to be critical or the severity is going to be high. and then it will execute this log forwarding profile. Now normally what you would do then is you would say forward these to your syslog server, which is going to be your security system, and then those would be detections that then you can worry about later. That is not what we're going to do today. What we're going to do today is a little bit different. We're going to do a built-in action. And what we will do is, we'll keep calling stuff, so tag as bad. And just like it says, so the source address. So once we have something where the source address is hitting this, is hitting a threat log and it's critical or high, then we're going to add the tag. We will make it local and bad. All right, so the timeout. So if you make it 0, it's never gonna time out. It's just gonna stay tagged like that forever. And there's reasons why you don't want to do that, and I'll show you that in a second once we look at the threat logs. So I'm gonna add a timeout here, and this is in minutes. I did find out that 43200 minutes is 30 days. So that's what that number means. That's if you multiply, what is that? I don't know, 60 times 24 times 30. I guess you'll get 43200. And I'll just put that. I'll just put the maximum amount. So this will tag it as bad for 30 days. So 43200. This will really just be up to your organization, how long you want to leave this tag, and maybe you just want to tag it forever. Then you can manually remove it later. But I'm just going to put it in 30 days for now. And hit OK. And this is what it'll do. So it's going to tag the attacking IPs as bad. If the log threat is critical or high, and it's going to apply that tag to the source IP. Let's hit OK. I've created this. Let's hit OK. If you're not familiar with log forwarding profiles, these don't do anything just by creating them. You have to actually add them to a policy. But before I do that, let me take a look at that threat log, because that'll help me determine which policies I actually want to add this to. I'm going to go to monitor, already in threat. And you can see I already have the filter here, a little bit of speeding. And one thing I wanted you all to see here is that one of the source addresses that's hitting, which it's doing this Zixel command injection, is actually 1.1.1.1, which is a well-known public DNS server. So that's why I wanted to caution against just blocking all of this stuff forever, because something like that may actually be a needed IP that you'll need to be able to access. So you might only want to actually block it for a short period of time. Really just depends on your personal use case, why you're setting up this blocking that we're doing here. But that is just one example of an IP that's not really bad, that could be sending this specific injection. I don't know how that's happening. I don't know if that's something someone was able to abuse that IP or mask it, or if that IP was just doing something weird that created a false positive on the firewall. I can't tell you exactly why 1.1.1.1 was sending these Zixel command injection vulnerabilities to my network, but it was. And so that would just be an example of when, if you just block everything, you can create problems in your network. But what I really wanted to see here is that the rule that all of these are coming at is allow intra-zone, which makes sense because I have my public IP in the internet zone, as you will on your firewall, as you can see here, and these are coming from the internet, and they're just hitting that public IP directly, which is just the firewall's exposed IP. It doesn't actually lead to anything. I don't have anything open on my network, like a website or anything that anybody can access. That's just the IP that that's getting natted from all my internal devices. But that IP is the only thing that would be reachable from the internet within my network, and so that makes sense that that's the one that's getting hit. So this allow intra-zone, that is the one that I'm going to want to apply that log forwarding profile to. So let us do that. We're going to go to policies, security policy, and I'm going to hit that allow interzone policy that I talked about, and then I'll go to actions, and here under log forwarding I will add that tag attacking IPs as bad. Hit OK. And now I need to actually apply the policy. So remember, the goal was to actually block those bad IPs. And so I already have here two policies, block to evil and block from evil, where I block everything from anywhere going to the Palo Alto Network's known malicious IP addresses, and anything from those IP addresses to anywhere else. So let's add to that. So let's start with block to evil. We'll go to destination, and in addition to these addresses, I'll also add the bad address group. I will not block Barbados. It'd be pretty funny though. And I will do the same thing here. Block from evil. Source. I can do this. And bad. I don't want to block all my Amazon echoes. Would be interesting. All right. I've done everything to set this up. Let me commit quickly. Of course, if you know how commits go, they're never quick. But let's commit anyway. I'll show you one more thing, and then we will have to wait. So I'll show you what that dynamic address group looks like right now. Then we're actually going to have to wait probably like 24 hours. So I'll do some movie magic and disappear and come back in 24 hours, probably wearing a different shirt, hopefully. And then I will show you that some of those IPs that pop up in that threat log are indeed showing up in that malicious dynamic address group, that they are getting tagged properly as malicious. Now that I'm saying this out loud, I realize I probably could just like use a hotspot on my phone and get like Metasploit and just throw some random injects at my network. I don't know, something feels wrong about that. I feel like when I've done pen testing in the past, I've always been in like a private LAN where I've controlled all the infrastructure and had explicit approval to do everything. Yeah, doing it over the internet, just kind of on my own without having a lot of approvals, and not working for a government organization. Something feels wrong about that, so probably not going to do that. Yeah, it doesn't like my Ethernet 1.2 IP address. I never liked that. Just doesn't like that my Ethernet 1.2 overlaps with my management interface. But my management interface is in my local network, so yeah, it's going to be in my 1.2. That's where my LAN side interface is. But whatever. It's always this weird part where it says like committed successfully, but still pending. Yeah, it's always complaining about this too, about the configuration size. Anyone seen a good solution for that? Make that configuration size thing go away? Let me know in the comments if you have. All right, let's just go look at this dynamic address group quickly. Should be nothing there yet, and then we will do some movie magic, wait 24 hours, and it will appear. So let's go to address groups. All right, we've got the bad. So you can see, oh, okay, so, all right, I'm guilty. I did set this up. I didn't realize that this thing was this smart, but I did set this up ahead of time, and then removed all the configurations and started over. So it still has this one. So let's just unregister this tag. All right. Unregister tag. Add this. Okay. All right, there we go. So I unregistered that tag. So now there's nothing. Now you can see there's an empty list here. So nothing is tagged as bad. You can see if we go back to monitor you can see that that .20 public IP, that was the IP that sent me this Realtek Jungle remote code execution vulnerability. So that's why that one got tagged. But that was last year. Happy New Year, by the way. And I will go back to objects. Here you see there's nothing. So let us wait for a little while until we get attacked. And then we'll see if there's some new addresses that pop up there.
Much later.
All right. I am back. It's been under 24 hours. I recorded the first segment of this video around 4 p.m. yesterday, the 3rd of January, and today right now it's 1 p.m. on the 4th. So just under 24 hours. Public math was at 21 hours or so. And we do have a hit on our threats. It's actually an interesting hit, and I'll talk a little bit about that. But let me pull up my 440 here again. Get them on the dashboard. Oh, you can actually see the time here. You can see the time I logged in anyway. And 12:58. And yep, so we can go to monitor, look at our threats. It's the same filter. And what's interesting, you can see today, so like about, again, public math, an hour and a half ago, same attack on Ike from this 1.1.1.1. Let's see if I can. Let's get rid of this. I don't need you guys seeing my IP address. Not that it really matters, but let's get rid of this and this and that. All right, there we go. So here you can see the port 500 and the Ike application. Yeah, critical severity. So let's see if that IP 1.1.1.1 has been properly tagged. So we go to objects, the address groups. We've got the bad address group here. Let's hit more. Yep, there you go. So you can see 1.1.1.1 is registered in this bad. So it should be blocked if I try to hit it. So let's see, let's ping 1.1.1.1. Okay, good. It's timing out. That's expected. While we're letting this do this, I think this is really highlights the importance of kind of not relying too much on IPs. So I understand why the poster on Reddit wanted to block these IPs that are attacking, but and there's good reasons for doing that too, especially if you feel like it's protection against more targeted attacks. But if you rely too much on IPs, you can see 1.1.1.1 is a known good IP. It's from Cloudflare. You can use it as their DNS server. It has some other services, I believe. But it's not a bad IP. So we're blocking it now. It's bad, but it's not a bad IP. But let's see what happened with that ping in particular. So here we go. So let's put here 1.1.1.1. Cool. There we go. We can see destination, ping, type drop. And yeah, there we go. It's hitting that rule, block to evil, that we created yesterday, just under 24 hours ago. So this is working. This is definitely working as expected. Here's another example. We can say ns lookup. I don't know, who should we look up? I don't know, just look up Google, I guess. I feel like that's so lame. There's something else, something cooler we can look up other than Google. Let's just do Google. I'm so boring. And then we use 1.1.1.1 as the server. Here we go, getting some timeouts. This is also just do for Yeah, or 5. Cool. If we go here, should be able to keep this filter. And yep, yeah, you can see here, port 53, is that DNS request. I think the application's not, well, I guess because it's deny, the application's not applicable. Because it just blocks it based on destination IP. So it actually doesn't have to determine the application to block it. So it just blocks it. Deny. All right, so this is working as expected. So just some food for thought. This could be helpful for some organizations, prevent against certain targeted attacks from IPs that are targeting you for a specific period of time. But don't rely too much on IP-based security. You can't just solve all your problems by blocking IPs that you think are bad. I want to post more about that 1.1.1.1 attack, actually. It's really interesting. It's a masquerading Ike attack, UDP port 500, trying to get it to download a specific file over HTTP. I have a LinkedIn post. If you don't follow me on LinkedIn, go on there and you can see one of my recent posts, posted yesterday, January 3rd, 2025, about that specific attack, and I have some other security nerds putting in the comments what they've found, what we're seeing there. So yeah, check that out. And thank you for watching this video. Let me know if you found this interesting, if this was understandable to you, and if you think I should do more Reddit content, if I should answer more people's Reddit questions. I thought this one in particular was interesting, but I think I'll keep trying to, find those interesting Reddit posts with interesting problems and then make videos on them and put them together. If you think that's a good idea, let me know in the comments. If you have any other ideas, cool videos, put those in the comments as well. All right. Have a good weekend.